If you are or know a police officer, fireman, teacher, municipal worker, any of those professions, then you really need to listen to this. I might blow your mind. Today, I'm going to tell you about something that's been called like the unfair advantage by ChooseFI, or the hidden gem of retirement plans, and that's the 457B plan. This is a retirement plan that's been available to me for 15 years, and I never even knew about it. So I've been doing a ton of research on it. I want to fill you in and maybe change the course of your retirement future today. If you're new here, my name is Brad. I make videos with tips and motivation on how to get out of debt, how to save money, and achieve financial independence. The first question I ask myself is, why did I not know about this 457B plan? And the fact of the matter is, it's really because it's a rare retirement plan. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is, who it's eligible for, the similarities to the 403B and the 401k that we're used to, but more importantly, the amazing differences that made me contribute to my 457 before even thinking about my 403B. As always, guys, before you make any changes, always do your own research. There are going to be some cons that I'm going to tell you about in this video. My purpose right now is to just open your eyes and maybe have you look a little bit deeper, because that's what I did after listening and learning about this 457B. First and foremost, what is a 457B? It is a non-qualified tax advantaged retirement account. It is extremely similar to the 401k that you might be used to, or the 403b. It is primarily given to those employees of local governments. Like I said, police officers, firemen, school teachers, sanitation workers, civil servants, all these municipal people, as well as other nonprofit organizations like hospitals and charities. There's a pretty good chance if you're offered a 403b at your job, you might have the availability of a 457. The similarities are this. The money goes in pre-tax, so it lowers your tax burden just like a 401k or a 403b. All of the growth is tax deferred, meaning that later in life when you pull it out, that's when you are going to pay taxes on it. The contribution limits are exactly the same. They are at $19,000 each. If you are 50 and over, you get that $6,000 catch-up bonus, and in some rare cases with the 457, you get a catch-up bonus that is doubled. And that is if you are in the last 3 years of your plan's contract. That's what you really need to look into, and those are minor details if you're really close to retirement age. Another similarity is that with separation of service, meaning that you leave your job, you are going to be able to roll over your 457 into other accounts like a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA, or even another company-sponsored 457 plan. Now, if you're one of those employees or local government employees, you have to look at one thing. You have to see if you have a 457B that is governmental or non-governmental. Those non-governmental ones are going to be the ones with charities and a lot of hospitals and things like that. And they're going to come with a little bit of danger, so you have to do your research. I'm going to give you some of the cons of those, but I don't know all of them because I've really only done the research on the 457B, which is the one that I am eligible for. So with the similarities of the 401k and the 403b of being able to contribute tax-free, to be able to roll things, to have a really high contribution limit, let's look at the things that make the 457 something that, in my opinion, you cannot pass up. First, the 457 is not supplemental of the 401k or the 403b. Meaning this, if you have the opportunity to have a 457 plan, that means that you can essentially max out 2 retirement plans. That's right. You can contribute $19,000 to your 403b or 401k and now add an additional $19,000 to this 457, which can lower your tax burden by $38,000. You could do some simple math, but if you're in like the 25% tax bracket, if you take 25% of $38,000, put that money in your pocket or be able to reinvest it and not give it to the federal government, that alone right there makes the 457 an excellent opportunity before the second most amazing thing as well. Unlike the 401k and the 403b, you can withdraw your money from a 457 at any time after separation of service, anytime you want, with no 10% penalty for being under 59 and a half. For those of you that have a 401k and a 403b and aren't too sure, you have to wait till you're 59 and a half or do things like Roth conversion ladders and backdoor Roths to get your money out before 59 and a half. With the 457, you can take your money at any time without paying a penalty. Now, this is huge in the FIRE community and those that are looking to retire from their W-2 jobs and work on things like side hustles and building your own business. If you're going to be leaving your main job and retiring early before 59 and a half, you can build this account while you're still working and then pull from it whenever you want before 59 and a half. Now remember, when you take this money out, that is a taxable event and you will pay taxes on it. But now you have the opportunity to take the money out only what you need, which once again is going to lower your tax bracket. When I heard this, I just couldn't believe it. That meant that I could max this out for the next 3 to 5 years. Then when I leave my job teaching and I work on other things, I can use this as a source of income, as an emergency fund, as anything I want. I could take money from it as I need, and during that time, it is going to grow tax deferred. This alone, in my opinion, sets it far above the 401k and the 403b. But there are some cons, and I just want to address them really quickly. Number one, they are really, really rare. I mean, in my school, I was told that my district didn't even know they really existed and that my union fought to get it in place for us. So if you are a 403b employee and don't have a 457 plan, ask Human Resources to look into it. I'm a teacher. I have one. My wife, who teaches one district over, her district does not offer the 457 plan, and now we are going to start working towards trying to get that for her and her other peers at that school district. So if you don't have one, look into how you could possibly get one. Another con about the 457 plan is that employee matches are extremely rare, unlike the 401k where they're very likely. And with a 457, if you do get an employee match, that counts towards your contribution. For example, in a 401k, if the maximum contribution is $19,000, you as the employee can put that in and the match goes above and beyond that. But in a 457 plan, whatever the employee throws in, that counts towards the $19,000. Another con with this, just like any retirement plan, is that the fees can be really, really high. So avoid things like annuities, guys, and do your research. Look for the low-cost options. Mine, with the New York State Deferred Compensation Plan, I'm paying an expense ratio of 0.01%, and they have a fixed yearly fee. So I did really, really good. So look at your options just like you would with a 403b and a 401k, but watch out because the fees, just like anything, they can tend to be high. And the last con that I want to talk about is if you are a non-governmental 457 employee, meaning that you work for one of these charities or you work for a hospital or some of these union employees. You have to be careful. They'll have the designation of a non-government 457 plan. And like I said before, I don't know too much about them, but from reading and doing my research, some of the cons that came up with these non-governmental plans are they are not sheltered from creditors. So if you work for a company that is non-governmental and you fear them going bankrupt, the 457 is not going to be a good plan for you because if they do, creditors will be able to come after that, unlike the governmental plan that I've been talking about. And the last con to this non-governmental plan is that you cannot roll it over. You can only roll over governmental plans. So if you're one of the employees that I've been talking about though, firemen, police officers, teachers, municipal workers, there's a very high likelihood yours is governmental. It's a really easy check, but I can assure you that if you're one of those employees, you should be good to go. The people that really need to look into it is if you work for a non-governmental agency like I just talked about, a charity, a hospital, or you get yours through a particular union. Just make sure that it's a governmental plan, and if it's non-governmental, make sure you really dot your I's and cross your T's. I got to give a shout out to the Millionaire Educator. He was on a podcast called ChooseFI, and this is where I got all of my knowledge to really make me do the research. I'm going to link that video right here above. For other investment videos, check this one out. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Until I see you on the next one, stay positive, work really, really hard, and always be kind to others. I hope you have yourself an amazing day and a better tomorrow.